Hello and welcome to another episode of Malt Magical More, where a Monday session we backed ourselves into corner. Now we need to try and book ourselves out of it. It's the after the show.
Hello.
We have 2 weeks to come up with a strategy on how the fuck we get out of this alive.
Absolutely.
I was struggling with the last bit, trying to think that obviously Dagon Goliath fighter loves a fight, to be honest. So really does want to do that. The only problem I would say is there is another turn. Is like actually they said that that they want to take us to their overlords or whatever, and we're like, cool, take us to your master. It's pretty much who we want to kill. So,
oh yeah, that's a good point.
How much does are you willing to negate a fight to get a better one? Which is a very interesting question.
That sounds like a philosophical question, really.
Hence the fact that is it? I want to do that, but is it above my character? Are they going to go? No, fuck it. I just want to fight you lot.
Do you have like a character flaw where you'll just take on any fight, or you want the best fight that will give you the best honour and victory?
That is a very good question. I think it's the best fight, honestly, because also there is, and I know we don't lean on this too much, but there's something about. Bear with me while I double check what alignment I am, which is neutral good. If I remember from neutral good, they prefer a worthy fight and feel that it is a not a shame or a shambles. It is shameful to be in a fight that just isn't worthy of you. It's not a fight, and it's actually. It's unfair on the other person, therefore not a fight you should pick. So if he believes that these Duergar are beneath him, could be incorrect in that circumstance. It could be that simply fighting the bigger boss is a worthier fight. I would prefer that. Thank you very much. Take me to your leader. So that may be something worth pursuing. However, there are about 6 other people in that room who completely disagree.
But the reason, not the session on Monday, but the session before, where we were talking about, do we actually try and get out of here, or do we actually try and kill these masters? And I was saying that I feel duty bound to do it. Well, one of Anders' very few ideals that he has, he's a man of few morals, but one of the ones he does have is being a bit chaotic neutral. He hates people being oppressed. So if people are being oppressed, he doesn't want that to happen. He'd rather try and, if there's a tyrant or a ruler, he'd want to take down a bit of anarchy, basically, isn't it? Take down the man.
It's not something we've looked at in a while, actually. Your personality traits that you picked when you created your character. Dagon pretty much lives through his anyway. I live for the thrill of the hunt, hunts monsters to do all sorts, and has an addiction, all those sorts of things, which I think we uncovered a lot.
Yeah, as I say, what I actually connected in there with the alignment was actually something I specifically changed due to the fact that I became a werebear, and I have been trying to pull on that more than I have done previously. And hence the fact that again I remember reading up about this whole thing about it is it's for want of a better word, a sin to go into a fight you'll win that is beneath you, because it is unfair. And yeah.
Well, then let's go through Anders' personality traits that I've picked, and you tell me whether you think I roleplay them or not.
Let's see if we've played through them all first.
I think we have.
I'm just looking. Yes.
I'll explain the
think we've
flaw
played
one.
it
So, when we get to it. So the personality traits. I judge people by their actions, not their words.
Yep.
I didn't trust Kirik when I first met him until he proved himself, or saved my life. I'm confident in my own abilities and do what I can to instill that confidence in others. Well, I don't actually
There's
instill
a
confidence
slight
in others that much.
naivete there as well, you know.
There's a cockiness about it.
There's a cockiness about that. You know, yes, what do you mean? Of course I can jump 60 foot. Oh shit, I can't. You know.
Yeah.
Of course I can
Maybe
prize
I
this
don't
stone from
instill
the wall with no
confidence in
consequences.
others,
Yeah.
but I'll give you bardic inspiration, which is the same thing. The best way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it.
100%. That's what you do.
This is something
No.
I, as a DM, play on every single week.
The gem
No,
is
no.
stuck in the wall. Fucking give me a try out.
Is it really?
Yeah, hold my beer.
My ideal is tyrants must not be allowed to oppress the people, and I'm loyal to my friends, not to any ideals, and everyone else can take a trip down the stikes for all I
Sticks.
care. So basically, yeah, there we go. I'm loyal to my friends, and that's it.
So you would probably have my back if I said no. Take me to your leader. You know, they're the heads I want to chop off.
Dargon is probably one of the only few people whose advice Ander actually listens to. Which is why I go off without you more often than not, because I know you'll talk me out of stuff.
Now that is an insight that is wonderful. No, that is brilliant. I love it.
And then my bond is I have a family, but I have no idea where they are. One day I hope to see them again. Well, they're all fucking dead, so that. But that has played out because I have found them just in the vision. Because I didn't know who they were.
All
Did
of
I? 'Cause
your
I couldn't
family?
remember them. All the. Well, they might be
all
one
of your
alive,
family?
You never know.
We don't know, do we? Depends if he's
We
got
don't know
any
yet.
legitimate kids anywhere, really.
Well, that's true. I don't know if the what's her name? The dryad is pregnant after I banged her in the tree. She won't be having little fairy babies.
Little fey
And then
babies.
my flaw is the tyrant who rules my land will stop at nothing to see me dead, but I've interpreted that as the Eladrin, but now he's dead.
But you could also say
Indeed.
that was also on the orders of some higher power.
Yeah, so
True. May have been.
essentially
but
I've got
that
a mortal enemy
particular...
who wanted to see me dead, but I still saw that as the Eladrin.
But
So I think in terms of character progression, that particular sort of branch of Anders' character is near enough closed now.
Yeah.
The tyrant that had been responsible for all the pain in his life is now well and truly dead. So
So I think I've done pretty well there.
yeah,
we have done. There's been a lot of character development. Like if I think back to session 1, sat in a room drinking a lot of whiskey with a lot more players than we've got here actually, struggling through it. My first time DMing, you obviously your first time playing, and some of the things you got up to back then and the things you're doing now, the change is like so dramatic. It's ridiculous.
it was
So,
go on.
so do you think then we're not going to fight these guys and we're going to take us to your leader?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know. We may have pushed them too far,
Take me
but
to your leader.
but again, it could be that again, it was all a bit a bit of talk. We see them growing, and it's like, all right, yeah, take us to your leader. And it could be that again, it's done in a certain way that is like from obviously the silver-tongued Dargon, lol. Still like, yeah, actually, do you know what? You're absolutely right. Take us to your leader. After all, they're the ones we want to chop their fucking heads off. So yeah, please do. Just again, not in a tactful way, basically. So, could be. I don't know. What does Kirik want to do?
I mean, Kirik doesn't have enough in the tank for 2 fights in a row. Like, I have enough in the tank for 1 fight. So I think
And
Kirik's
I'm
very
still
much.
invisible, so they don't know I'm here yet. So you could say, take me to your leader, and I could follow you and potentially ambush one of the leaders. Although, I suspect the Mind Flayers know that if you rocked up, they'd be like, you're one short, where is he?
That, and probably they may even have true sight. I don't know, but they may even sense the fact that there is a mind somewhere that they
sense
can't.
intellect, something like that.
They might be able to do that,
God, yeah.
but it might help in the fact that Durgar don't know you there, so that might help. But again, is Grimly going? Grimly, whatever his name is.
I love how you just combined the two there.
Surely,
Remley and Gindris.
That's the one. Yeah. Whether he's going to come quietly, I don't think so. So we may struggle.
I mean, you're just waiting for me. You have my axe, aren't you? At any point.
It's more the fact that I probably go, I probably got your axe because it's a great axe on my back.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pickle, really. A bit of a pickle to be in. I think
different things at you on Monday. I threw a trap that effectively, literally, there was no way of stopping it. I knew as soon as Ander went down that corridor, I was like, this is going off. Anybody else would have investigated, seen the pressure plate and fucked off backwards. As soon as Ander went down, that was it. It was going.
I tried to game the system and it did not work.
Yeah.
But I got the jewel, I got to keep the Obsidian, and nobody died, so I consider it a win.
And that
sounds like that jewel is. Sounds like that jewel is pretty good.
Yeah.
I've basically got the Soul Stone, and I am loving life. I will need to collect the whole set.
I am not doing a whole Infinity Stone arc. We're not going down that route.
As I say, yeah.
Funny as it would have been.
To clarify, it isn't that, but it is still a fucking cool stone.
Yeah.
If it is what we
there is
think
a
it
whole
is.
set to collect,
So what do you
the
think?
prophecy is out the window for me, guys. I'm sorry. This is numero uno.
Are we allowed to say? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's an
not
Ioun
necessarily
stone.
confirm or deny. You think it's a?
I think it's an Ioun stone.
Yeah. I think we know
What's that?
specifically which one it is, but
This is why we've given items to Danny.
Yeah, an Ioun stone. Well, yeah, no, I won't say it.
anyone watching who knows what an Ioun stone is.
It might not be, so I might as well just say it.
It
An
might
Ioun
not
stone
be.
is an
It doesn't
item.
matter.
Yeah, it's an item that it's basically like a stone that floats around your head, and it gives you different properties. There's like there's one for each of your ability scores, so like increases it by 2, which makes your modifier plus. It gives you +1 to your modifier. And there are others that can be used basically as counterspell. Like if there's a level spell cast that is below, I think like the minor absorption is like 5th level, and then the other one is any spell above 7th level, below 7th level, you can just cancel it.
So
and then there's
you have come
others.
across an Ioun stone before.
What?
It was picked up, and then the deck of many things happened.
Oh, was that one?
Oh yeah, because then I lost all my stuff.
Which one was that one? Are you allowed to say?
It was the blue rhomboid.
I was just looking at
the
the
Yes,
dark
it
blue
was.
rhomboid. Yes. Yeah,
Fuck
it was the one.
me.
Wasn't it literally
The
picked up
agility one.
like 15 minutes before it as well?
Yeah.
The same
Yeah,
session.
picked up.
No, it wasn't even that. It was
Yeah.
It was picked.
Yeah, it was
up
picked up, and
gone.
then it was picked up, and then in the next room it was the deck. So
Wow, that did not last long.
which Kirik still had. I need to add that to my inventory actually, because I'm
Yes, you do.
forgetting.
Right. Well, I mean, we can say then that probably was the awareness one. So you can't.
It was the awareness
You can't
one,
be
that is
surprised
exactly
while
right.
this dark blue rhomboid orbits your head.
Nice.
That would have got rid of the warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
But they all need attunement, which
Yes, they do.
that's the trade-off.
I really do, I am just going to say I really do not need my shield anymore, and my attunement to it is just incidental at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens. Is like you just.
It's crazy. I honestly thought it was like, like 50-50 against my sword at one point, and now it's like, whatever. I brought it out then purely from the for the story portrayal. You know, like you said, like I want to use it to block the corridor. My reactions, I have way better reactions than that thing, which is the only thing that gives me, and it also gives me an action I've never ever used, or may have used once. But again, my actions are so much better than doing one thing. So no.
Then sell it.
When you look at the Ioun stones on D&D Beyond, it doesn't tell you what colour each one is.
It does if you read down.
Oh, I'm looking at them individually. There's a list of all of them there. Okay.
Yeah.
Just literally type in Ioun stone.
Yeah.
Matt, how many cards are left in the deck of many things? So I just make that note.
There will be 13 minus 5, so yeah.
8.
8. I can
8
tell you which
cards
ones are left.
Well, it's currently.
I can tell you which ones have been pulled out. With the deck of 13 cards.
Sure.
We've got to hope that we
I've got the Dancing Rapier, which was one of them.
Yeah.
That was Key, I think. So we pulled Key, Moon or Stars, one of the two. Which was the Wish
You pulled out
card.
Moon.
Moon, which is the Wish card. Key, which is the
Pulled
magic
out Key.
item. Ruin?
I lost all of my stuff,
Yeah.
and then
There's two.
No,
There's one.
It wasn't really.
Yeah, because there's one that's like you lose all your non-magic items, and another one which is you lose all your magic items. So I don't know which one that would have been.
I'm just looking down it now. No, sorry, it was Ruin. The only reason you lost so much is because you lost the magic item of your bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Ruin. There was then... Where was it?
That was it, wasn't it? Oh no! Did you pull out Eurodale, which is minus
And
2
then there
penalty
was
to
one
saving
where I got a
throws?
vision. There was one where I got a vision where something or somewhere belongs to me. Like I have a homeland.
Yes, you did.
I can't remember which one that is. I'm just looking through the list.
That is like throne or something.
It's not appearing in my list for some reason.
No, it's not. It's not throne.
Oh no, sorry, it is.
Yeah, it is throne.
So-
Yeah, you gain proficiency in persuasion skill, double your proficiency on bonus checks. You gain
Yeah,
a rifle
I did
ownership,
get
so
that.
small key.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got proficiency in persuasion now. Yeah.
That was it.
Plus 11
That's
on
right,
that
it's because
bad boy.
there's a whole big character sheet in the middle of
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
description.
got confused as well, and then I just kept scrolling.
Where's it gone?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
I
8
suppose
cards
I could have
left.
just gone back in my notes.
Most of them probably bad.
Excuse me.
I mean, hopefully you get the Jester one, the Knight one.
Yeah, just avoid the void.
Yeah.
Well done, John.
No, you'll get full idiot, Don John, and Rogue, where Dagon becomes hostile towards you.
Or Skull. Skull is just the worst.
So actually, I did do pretty well with that.
Yeah,
And
you're
I've-
very
I've
lucky.
definitely-
I love looking
I've
back through my
definitely
notes and
Googled-
stuff I've had to highlight. So, stuff I've had to highlight here. Ander has seen a full orc penis.
And
Ridiculous.
I've sucked off a dwarf as well.
Yep, I remember that note as well.
Apparently so.
I've had a tiefling wife, a Goliath wife. That's
Again,
all
how
I've
much
written.
of it was bluff? So
True.
You never know. I've had an elf wife,
Indeed.
and then what Jiao is, Geo, a snake person, UNT,
UNT.
but not, the pure blood ones, not the ones that actually look like snakes. I'm pansexual, but I'm not a madman.
So, the cards that you pulled, Talons, Moon,
That's the one.
Throne,
So I
and
took my
Key.
stuff. So there's loads of bad ones left, Kirik. For Kirik to pull,
Right.
should we say?
Kirik doesn't want to
Because
pull them.
Talons
Smell, on
shouldn't
the
have
other hand,
existed.
definitely wants to
Could
play
we
the
give some
game.
to the mind flayers? No, they would know what they are.
Pick
You can
a
talk to them
card,
today.
any card.
And tell them it's a peace offering and just say, take our peace offering, and then they all take one.
Yeah, and then they'll get the last good ones.
If all else fails,
Oh,
we
that's
have 2 bags of holding, so you know.
Are you thinking kamikaze? Or
Shit
just
hits the fan.
If all else fails, we'll just put them together.
blow the world up?
See what happens.
Technically, right, that might be enough to shock Nylin back into the where it's supposed to be.
That's one
I think there's
theory.
something. Yeah, I think there's something insane, like some insane damage that is done and whatever. Can't really remember.
So what you're saying is there might be a point where you're just, I've had enough of this campaign now, gives you back of holding, and then I'm just going to smush them together. Campaign 2, everyone. That's what's going to happen on the. That's how we're going to end
fun.
next week's one shot.
Yeah, 2 bags of holding. God, yeah.
So are we really going
Bag
to
of
go
holding and the
diplomacy?
portable
I don't
holding
think
through.
this
The
will.
portable hold and then the bag of holding through.
Yep. It opens
Are we
up a
really
gate
gonna go-
to the astral plane. The gate originates where the one item was placed in the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it in to a random location on the astral plane. The gate then closes. The gate is one way only and cannot be reopened. So
It's kind of like a super duper banishment.
I was about to say, yeah, if you can
Kind of.
trick and cast suggestion on it, which is impossible, and get
No, but
them
they're
to do it,
intelligence, not wisdom, aren't they?
It's either that or you stand next to it and sacrifice yourself.
or that.
But also, I've got no.
Goodbye,
third level
Crowell.
spell slots left. Or second. I reckon we could get Rimley to do it. Remley, even.
Grimly.
Grimley. Grimley or Remdis, they could do it.
Man, I don't know. 3
I
mind
love how
flayers sounds like a
is annoying you
lot.
as well.
Oh yeah.
Bothrid would do it for us.
Bothrid would do
I would
it for
feel
you,
bad if I got Bothrid
wholeheartedly.
to do it.
Bothrid would do
I feel
it.
bad if Bothrid did it.
Bothrid would do it. Bothrid would run with both of those bags of holding, smash them together, and do whatever you needed to do.
And have no idea what he's about to do either.
Wouldn't care.
Yeah. You just rage.
Bothrid would just go and do it.
That is the perfect description of rage quitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, can you imagine Bothrid in the astral plane realizing and figuring out that he can fly using his thoughts and just be like, yay! Admittedly, not very quickly, but
It's effectively just a whisper fart at that point.
oh,
boy,
dearie
oh boy.
me. Yeah, I mean, wow. So, yeah, we've got ourselves in a right tizzy.
3 mind flayers sounds like a lot. That's
Yeah,
I mean,
it
at
does,
least
doesn't it?
3 mind flayers.
yeah. At least 3 mind flayers sounds like a lot.
Are they? Yeah, I was
Especially
gonna
if
say,
you
are
fail
they
the
the
intelligence
overlords?
saves,
You know.
and it's just me left
So.
running around peppering arrows.
Also, I just used my ball bearings, all of them. I'm like, I know it didn't cost me much, but I've had them for ages. I'm just like, oh
Quite
great, and now
literally
we might.
emptied your ball bag down a corridor.
Yeah, and thanks very much, but I'd like to talk about tonight, not last night. Yeah, and then we might not end up using them anyway.
So to everybody, you've already committed to the fight because you've set a trap.
Yeah.
So does Ander even try and discuss it with you? Because he said it as a message in your head. Is he just then going to do it and start a fight?
I was going to say that
the
the U-turn is going to have to be epic and rapid. You know.
Yes. Only you can answer that question, really, Danny, because you.
But then again, when we were fighting that Durgar with the flamethrower, essentially, he went down pretty quick.
He went down fucking quickly.
He did.
But these other dudes are like 20 foot across now.
They look sturdier.
What on earth turned I suppose it was still medium to large, but it's like, to me, I'm thinking, what turns a dwarf into a bear size, werebear size thing? That seems like it goes almost 2 levels up, if you know what I mean. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
There are things.
I know. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, we need to talk about your jugs. What is that jug?
Is it the mayo jug?
Yeah, I really hope it's an alchemy jug, because that item is the best thing in the world.
Beer. Ooh, yay.
So you can actually pour out of it whatever you want?
I think there's like sets. Yeah, there's like set things that you can do.
I think there's
stuff like
8 or 10 options.
Yeah, there's stuff like, I think there's beer, oil, water. I should look at it. I've got it on my
though. So when you say oil, it's like olive oil.
Yeah.
Or coconut oil.
Mayonnaise.
I've added it to my there's acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, water, fresh water, salt, and wine.
Why
but they all are
mayonnaise?
like, I don't know, but it's the best. And it's not just mayonnaise, it's
eggs.
2 gallons of it. Just an insane amount of mayonnaise.
If there's anything, you could try and drown somebody in mayonnaise.
You need a lot of tuna. You can go with the mayonnaise.
Yeah, but also, if Ander learns about this item, he just want to like drench himself in mayonnaise and like water slide down a corridor. That's literally what you want to do.
I would literally get naked, cover myself in mayonnaise, just be like the Durga, come at me, bro. And they would literally
just sliding and slipping off you as they come towards you.
Amazing.
Two things I wanted to do.
Go on.
I was going to say in the fight when you was in the weasel's mouth, if that was me, I was thinking to myself, what would I do? I was like, would he just piss himself to try and make him drop it? Would he stage a dirty protest? And then something else I wanted to do, but I didn't have any spell slots left. I wanted to cast because I was in close range with it. I didn't really want to use the sword, so I didn't feel confident. And I didn't feel confident to use the sword, and I couldn't use a bow and arrow, so I was going to cast Reduce on its collar to try and strangle it and suffocate it and hope it would drop you. But I didn't have any spell slots left.
No, that's sweet. I have to say, obviously, my action economy took a hit because I'm a pleb tonight or Monday night, and
that would have been awesome as well.
Oh, just because it negates the fact that I'm restrained. Misty Step gets me out of that. No problem at all. I use my sodding bonus action to make sure I hit. Oh, so fuming afterwards. Because then I was like, oh, good. Now I don't have the axe that I, that I could have got myself out of because it's stuck in a dead guy.
That was
happens, man. It
happens. For the battle for a start, because we were all trapped and we couldn't get into the room.
Again, it was a stupid thing that I didn't say that I tried to stealth up to get up to it, because obviously the whole thing was I just wanted to run up and just go thump and just get myself in there, and I didn't. So again, that's
that was basically the reason why Kirik just like ran into the room, because he was like, we need to get out of here and we need to like not all be crammed in, and Sanctuary is just Sanctuary is just fucking awesome.
The other thing to have thought of is the fact that actually we may have been able to, get it to the point that they couldn't get in to us. But again, that didn't happen. We actually got to the worst point of being where they could get us, and so that no one else could get past.
I think if we had a quid, a pound coin for every wisdom save in that fight with the weasels, we'd have probably had about 70 quid.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how many fucking high rolls you were doing in that fight as well? Like initiative, the attack rolls, all of it. That's probably your best fight yet for rolls. It was ridiculous.
We did pretty well.
I think we did pretty well on ability checks in general today.
Generally,
I think we only had like one single-digit roll. I think.
I've
had two natural ones. But I've had two natural ones.
One natural 20 today, and a lot of natural ones.
I did roll a 2, but I also can't believe that I managed to punch one of them and do some serious damage. I think I managed to do max damage.
We have got Tavern Brawler Strike, mate.
Yeah, you have Tavern Brawler, that's why. I was like, when you said 9 damage or whatever it was, I was like, how is that
a D4 plus 5? And I'm like, I punched the hell out of that thing.
If you think
fighting
about it in
a
real
crucible
life, he's biting you. You're gonna punch him pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's like one of them adrenaline things when you punch a shark on the nose, isn't it?
And so,
the thing is with that, you guys, because you slowed them, they've only then got the choice of one attack. Because they were surrounded, it was like, usually it would have been 2 bites and a claw attack. So with Dargon in its mouth, it would have been 2 more bites at advantage and then a claw attack. But I can only do 1. I was like, well, they're surrounded. I kind of need to try and get rid of some shit first before I just chomp down on Dargon here. Couldn't do it.
It was brilliant.
That was very good then. That was really good. So you're really coming quite clutch with the spells that you do have now, which is very good.
But that was only because Matt actually rolled really shit on the wisdom saves. Other than that, he rolled pretty well on the wisdom saves.
Because actually
the
they were quite
really good apart from that.
I was about to say, because they were quite wise apparently, which was like...
Yeah, plus 6, didn't they?
Oh, damn.
Yes, plus 6 on their wisdom saves. For anybody looking for that creature, by the way, Kobold Press, Creature Codex, the Ichneumon. Or Ichneumon, however you want to say it. I'm not going to say anything further on here because there are some details around that creature that I do not want to reveal just yet.
Because I think that they might be a few more coming their way.
They were failing my wisdom checks, but that's because that's quite high.
DC.
It's like 17.
Quite a high DC, yeah.
17 DC, so.
So they had to do a wisdom save for slow after every turn, wisdom save every time they got near you, and then
try and hit
making
me,
us do wisdom saves. Did they make us do wisdom saves?
They didn't make you.
I don't think so. Yeah, the only save they made me do was I assume is like a burning hands kind of version thing.
Oh yeah, but that was the Duragon, not the...
Yeah, which does the Duragon, yeah.
Just out of interest then, is it a strength or is it an athletics check to get out of a grapple?
Athletics is strength, isn't it?
It is, I just didn't know whether it was...
Whether you've got proficiency or not.
Exactly, so I have proficiency on my athletics. So it is quite important whether it's 5 or 9.
I think in general is an athletics, but if it's something specific, the stat block will say.
I think it's. It depends. Usually, a grapple, there will be an escape DC, but to escape a grapple, thinking of my either PHB or DM's guide, it's either an athletics or an acrobatics check. You actually get the choice.
Yeah.
Well, when you actually read it, when you click it on D&D Beyond, it says attempting to climb over hazards or climb a wall, jumping. It says swimming, but then it says another creature tries to push or pull you underwater while swimming. But you could argue that's the same as trying to restrain you.
It's the same as a grapple, yeah.
Yeah, they're the examples they give.
So, yeah, it was. I would have used an action surge to actually try and get out of the grapple, But because I didn't have that, it was simply I have got to wear it down, and I'm just going to stay here. And that was also due to the fact that it was slowed and not doing anywhere near as much damage to me as we've just heard. Otherwise, again, that would have been a let's see how this is played out.
And
I
it's
have read
also
the rules on
good
that. It's if somebody tries to grapple you, you can make an athletics or an acrobatics check to avoid it.
Oh,
In this case, you couldn't do that because it's a bite. If you get hit, you grapple.
That's
That's
what I was going to say, because in theory, if you tried to grapple Ander, he wouldn't try and outmuscle you. He would try and weave out of it, which is acrobatics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if you tried to grapple Dargon, he'd just slap your hands away and be like, "Fuck off." So yeah, but then once you grapple,
it's really my decision around how you
it?
escape there,
Okay.
and I think I would do it, and depending on what you're trying to do, really.
Yeah.
The majority of times it's going to be a strength-based check. You're trying to throw something off you or open the jaws up.
I was going to say, I would describe it as I try and open the jaws. I don't know how I would describe an athletics. I don't know. Would I?
Yeah, it'd probably be a straight strength check, I think, for that.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
cocktail's mouth sort of thing. Shove the stick in there, that job.
Yeah. That's where we want the immovable rod to just place it in there, click, and it's like, bitch, now move.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is the next question. Have I actually gone werebear recently? I don't think so.
No, I don't think you've been werebear since.
Not
Not
since
since the long rest.
Yeah. Not since the mountains, not since against those cyclops or
I was
something.
going to say it was, yeah.
You was last a werebear before Moonbright fell, I think.
No, after that,
he's done it since
in the
then.
mountain with the cyclops, if you remember, because I negated all bludgeoning damage from my boulder and all that shit.
And you did the same against the goblins. I think you turned into a werebear there.
I think it was after the long rest.
So yeah,
after the long rest when you were in that alleyway. I mean, I'll go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that's when you did it.
I think that was the last time.
Viewers, you may know. Let us know.
Yes.
So
I don't think I've turned into a werebear down here.
But if it's the same day, does that mean you can't? If you did it after the long rest,
You've long rested since then.
I've long rested, so I mean,
okay.
I know it's well, it is technically after a new dawn, but yes, I can do it again. But yeah.
Is there any teasers you want to give Samal to the one shot on
I was
Monday?
just about to ask that exact same question. Is there anything else you want to tease out?
Is there anything I want to tease out?
Mainly
It's gonna
for
be.
me.
It's gonna be a little bit like. Yeah, I kept thinking about what to do because obviously we've been doing a dungeon crawl, and I was like, okay, so not a dungeon crawl, let's do something different. But there will basically be a lead up to a big fight where you guys are going to be able to use your weird ass abilities and do a bunch of damage and feel really powerful. So yeah, it's gonna be there's not gonna be a lot of story. It's gonna be very much like leading up to
And
fight.
is it
and
just
then
the
fight.
three of you? Have we got a special guest
no.
to wait for? Or?
I believe it's just going to be the three of us. There might be a change during the week, but
Yeah,
I will
it's okay.
let
We'll keep an eye out for
everyone
that.
know.
So
In
the
my
next
head now, it's
question
gonna be like
is...
Gears of War, and it's just going to be horde after
next-
horde.
Love that. The next question is then, can we get some previews of the character voices?
No, because I haven't perfected mine yet.
Guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
All I will say
I'm
is
going to enjoy being a viewer.
It's hard to pick a goblin voice.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do you guys want to tease? Do you guys want to say, kind of tease what your
Mine keeps
characters
coming out
are?
with
I've got a
Gollum,
goblin.
I can't help it.
No, we have a goblin now.
Yeah. So-
Goblin. What I'm expecting next week.
But you, Dave,
What am I?
what can we expect?
Tabaxi.
Yeah, I'm a tabaxi, yeah.
Nice.
Am I? Are you? Did I
Yeah.
guess it?
Yeah.
I actually haven't checked your character sheet yet, so I don't actually know.
I haven't been able to move it over. There was a problem with moving it over,
right, okay.
which I think is said. So I've
I only
got to
said
make
that because
sure.
Pebble shows up every week.
Yeah, she's sitting right here. But yeah, no, and it had nothing to do with Pebble. It was just more the fact I went through. It was a couple of months ago now, just randomly going through a random character generator and just clicking through, and then this came up, and it is a so it's a female tabaxi.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this voice.
And yeah, a paladin.
Nice.
Ooh.
But also a paladin. I don't know whether there's a specific thing, but basically a paladin archer. So
nice. You don't get that a lot. That's
yeah,
very
I
cool.
like it.
yeah. So a
Smite
so
from a
you're
distance.
gonna
a sod
You're
off
gonna be
powerful
rangy,
arrow.
rangy.
Yeah, like yeah. So
We've gone complete opposites because I'm a berserker barbarian.
This is going to be like Skyrim, where with the expansion where you fire the sun bow or whatever the fuck it's called, and like blot out the sun, isn't it?
because and I suppose
This is Dark
again,
Souls 3.
I'm sure we can go over
Yeah.
much more in the after show of it, but again, precursors to it, we have chance to go through it now. The backstory is basically they are, and now obviously we've gone high level. They are a high level guard, so they are a guard of the crown. And they
I was
are
about to
just
say,
therefore
what deity have you picked? Because obviously it's
is
not
that your-
bound by my rules, but you've gone down the crown.
Oath of the Crown. Yeah,
Nice.
if I can do it, I think I can. I don't know whether that was the problem with me not being able to bring it into the campaign. We'll work that lot out in D&D Beyond. But yeah, I intend it to be Paladin Oath of the Crown, and so it is that
Should be able to do it.
yeah, that essentially it is. As far as I understand it, is the loyalty is to what's the word?
There we go. Whatever the ruling faction there is.
Yeah, basically, and so I just thought it was really interesting. It was honestly one of those like I'd love to have that as a campaign one, but also I was like I'm gonna struggle with that. And as I said in our chat. It's very close to what I have at the moment, so I would like to know in sort of later campaigns or alternative site, whatever other campaigns, that I pick something different enough, and this was quite close. So, yeah, that's why I've ruled it out. I've gone, do you know what? That's why I've gone. Do you know what? I want to rule it out. Let's use it now. I did want to use it, and maybe it's not worth using it as a long term one. So this is going to be great fun.
Yeah, I'm just looking at your. Sorry, I was saying.
Go on, you finish.
I was saying that I was just looking at the oath spells, and they're pretty fun.
And you got
spells that deal
as
with
well.
well.
Have you got channeled? And you got your channel divinities, have you? And then
You'll have channel divinity.
And then your tabaxi racial features, which would be awesome as well.
Oh yeah, you're a paladin that can just move like 60 feet in a turn without
7,000
dashing.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I've got to check out because I should be able to move quite far. Plus, I also, being a tabaxi, have a very high dex and should be able, and also have a
And intelligence.
You have a climbing speed.
I have a climbing speed and like something about getting out of grapples or something. I can't remember, but it's like there is something around just the ability of a
nimbleness, isn't it?
Yeah. Plus, I think I was
so.
trying to go down that sort of route with the features. So instead of going with an ability score improvement, more of going with the ability of being able to just get the fuck out of dodge. And so there's a number of things. I think so, possibly.
I'm looking forward to the Hero Forge designs as well. These sound awesome.
I was right. I was
Mine's
trying to do my
amazing.
Hero Forge one, and I had an idea in my head as to exactly, and I'm really struggling to get Hero Forge to make it, look like that because. So I'm trying, and that's why it's taken a while
Is
for
it
me
down
to
to
actually
the
get it
pose,
through.
or
No, more the fact that I consider them to be quite the stockier tabaxi, so not like a cat, but more of a lion tiger sort of.
yeah, they don't
just
do that.
proper stocky. So I'm basically.
I mean, remember lions? That lion type race in D&D is technically Leonin, not.
Yeah, which is why I'm not going lion. I am
You
going
can-
more. Was it snow
You can play
tiger,
with the
snow
sliders, though,
leopard,
for
sort of,
muscularity.
that type of.
It's the face more than anything. You
Yeah.
can't get a lion face because I struggled with this for Ethereal's
Yes.
character.
So I've got a
design.
cat. I got
So
a
I've
cat,
just got
and
a
I'm
placeholder in there for now.
yeah, and I managed to get a cat face, a feline face, and then managed to put a beard around it, and it looked really weird. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So
You got to remember,
Woman's gonna have
it's a
bits.
lady. Well,
yeah, but it was more the fact that just getting the fur, and it was like, as I say, it started looking more like a lion, and then I was like, no, I'm going to bring it back and just make a bigger head and just make it look like fur. So as I say, that was just a. I was tinkering on Hero Forge, and I needed a little bit more time on that one.
I've picked an easy character for a backstory. So he's obviously a goblin berserker barbarian. So essentially, he just lives in the wilderness, and he's like the last of his tribe or his clan, and he just steals stuff off people after he's fucked them up, which explains the magic and rare items that I was allowed to pick from a character, because he's obviously just pillaged them off somebody, off a fallen foe. And then his clothes, he's just wearing hide loincloths and cloaks, essentially, because he's a feral man.
Nice.
But I'm thinking, with the voice, there's the goblin voices that Matt does, right? But because he's a barbarian and he thinks he's tough, I don't know whether to do somebody with a goblin voice who's trying to put on a tougher, deeper voice. I don't know how that would.
Bear in mind that's just my interpretation of a goblin. Your interpretation could be totally.
But do you know what I mean? But I don't know how that would actually work. In my head, it sounds good, but I can't make it come out my mouth.
You should
You know
hear.
what I mean?
You should hear the.
I struggle
you
that
should hear
with
the
week
voice.
on week, mate.
Yeah.
You should hear the voice of the goblin paladin that I have in my campaign.
It's pretty funny, to be fair. I don't.
Pretty good.
I think you must have spent the first 4 sessions just laughing your ass off over that voice.
Yeah. It's great though. I love it.
Oh yeah, it is really.
Always
funny.
angry. Always angry.
It might not make good telly, but it could just be a mute.
No, not allowing that.
Just grunts. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with
The thing
playable,
is, yeah, I was about to say,
playable Kenkus.
I think,
Nope.
yeah, with most of the goblins, it is meant to be that sort of, scraggly, like, rough, and as you say, just generally always angry. What are you looking at? What? Hey!
So
Just
I
play.
might just-
Just play Shadow of War for a bit.
Yeah.
And just
I was going to say,
pick up some of the orcs.
take your inspiration from Lord of the Rings and the orcs,
Yeah.
not the Uruk-hai,
Or I'll just smoke
but the
20
actual
Marlboro
orcs.
Lights before we go on stream. Get the scratchy voice
There is
going.
Yeah. Oh dear. What about them? They're fresh. I love that film so much.
Yeah.
I have literally
We've got
just
that
gone
next
through
week.
the extended
Look about a
editions,
bit off the top.
just on all the Lord of the Rings extended editions, onto the Hobbit now.
Nice. Yeah.
I need to do the extended editions again. It's been a-
I need
Wait,
to go back
wait,
and read
wait!
Lord of the Rings. Though.
I forgot my handkerchief. We're going to have to go back.
Oh, I love it. Good stuff. Well, I am looking forward to next week.
Yeah, it's going to be good
Gonna be
fun.
fun.
So, I'll get my character
Yeah,
sheet
then we'll get
connected
back
into the
into
campaign. We'll get that token sorted, and then we'll be good to go.
I'm gonna have to study it, because I know my character sheet for Ander now. That like the back of my hand, I know what he can. But there's like the Fury of the Small, which will be really handy.
Oh,
Do you know what would
Small.
probably
the
be
goblin.
easier?
Beautiful.
Print it off.
Print it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Print it off.
Yeah.
It is easier to quickly flick through pages than it is to sort of be clicking around.
is, yeah.
As much as I love D&D Beyond, sometimes it's so much easier having a physical character sheet in front of you. I found this with one
Yeah,
of my other
it's-
groups. They've printed their stuff off and they just
So
are
good.
now rattling through their features, rattling through the different abilities.
Especially if it's high level, Because especially if it's high level that you're
Absolutely.
jumping into.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like there's one here. I literally, because I'm in like the edit of mine at the moment, and I've gone to the 15th level, and there's like starting at 15th level, you have advantage on saving throws to avoid being paralysed or stunned, and I'm like, when the hell am I going to remember that? Right? It is so important, but when the hell am I going to remember that? I've just got that.
Luckily, though, does it not tell
Print them
you
off and make
on
some
your
notes.
saving throw section on your character sheet?
Should do, but
That's a
still,
good point.
should
Good
do,
point. Yeah.
it's still easier. Still easier.
I'm just
It
going
is
to have a quick
sometimes
look, very quick look. Oh yeah,
I've
you're
done
right.
it with
You're
NPCs
right. It
occasionally
does
as well,
say that.
print
That's
them
pretty
off.
impressive. Right. Anyway, yes, let's get all excited for next week. And we have 2 weeks to also think what the hell we're going to do in this next thing.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, say again.
I said I've got 2 weeks to plan more shit for you.
Yeah, I
True.
don't like giving him more time.
I've given myself more time. I'm taking holiday.
You gave him an extra half an hour. This will happen.
I know. It's my own fault. Jeez. Oh god, no. Thank you ever so much for tuning in for another episode of Malt, Magic and Malt on this lovely Wednesday evening. I hope you've enjoyed our episode. I hope you're also enjoying our campaign. We're streaming on Twitch every Monday night with our campaign, every Wednesday night with Malt, Magic and More, and the videos come out on YouTube the same week as well as on the your podcast platform of choice. Thank you very much indeed, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, as you may have heard before, will be our one shot, and then we're back to our normal scheduled campaign the following week. I hope to see you there as well. Have a lovely evening and good night.